Redefining our past for a more fulfilling present. This is what Ms Fortunate Ingabire 𝘠𝑚 and myself sit down to talk about in this rebirth series titled The Rebirth Begins Within, Awakening Your Emotional Power. She is a mental health enthusiast, an advocate and legal advisor. We have a heartfelt conversation about how redefining our past creates a more fulfilling present. Together, we are exploring how emotional awareness and resilience shape both personal and professional growth, especially in high-pressure fields. Ms Fortunate shares her journey of healing through faith and creating safe spaces for herself and others to process pain and rediscover purpose and, above all, to thrive. Join me in the conversation. Welcome to the Hope Ignites Healing Podcast with your host, Dr. Lillian Kalisa, a space where we speak everything holistic health and healing. This is a space for women especially who are seeking to find healing, that is, from a place of inner completeness, making small, simple, and yet tangible steps towards full health, and therefore a lifestyle of healing. In this space, we believe in the 1948 definition of health, that health is a state of complete emotional, physical, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. And through my personal story and all the medical knowledge gathered through the years, this is now the mantra with which I live my life and teach others to do the same. Now let's redefine health together, shall we? Welcome to Season 4, The Rebirth. The rebirth begins from within. This is the time that we are awakening our emotional power, the conversation. Hello, my lovely, lovely friend, like I always call you, my people. Welcome back to the Rebirth series with Dr. Lillian. Most recently, we have been exploring the power of emotional wellness. We've been talking purpose and how to live whole from the inside out. That, from the last episode, we said is the center for our wellness. That wellness comes from within and not from the outside. If you missed that episode or what I'm talking about sounds new, please go back to last episode and indulge right in there, right? Healing comes from within and it's centered around emotional well-being. From our emotions are coming from a good place and they're speaking to us. So, here we have to talk about how rebirth begins, and it's always nice to make reference to people, to circumstances, to things that have reminded us of this season. So in this emotional wellness podcast, I'm so excited to introduce to you somebody who I feel has walked that journey. You, my audience, must be excited. Today I'm joined by a special guest. I'll let you know who she is. She embodies the theme of emotional wellness, healing from within, extremely beautifully. Together with her, we shall explore how emotional awareness and resilience can shape not only how we feel, but who we become and what we do. My guest today is referenced as Ms Fortunate Ingabire, also known as 𝘠𝑚. 𝘠𝑚 is F-I-R-M. She'll tell us more about it. And she's described as a mental health enthusiast, hence me bringing her right here, right? She's an encourager and a healing advocate. Professionally, she does mainly legal work. She is a legal advisor at Airtel Uganda Limited, where she's an advocate. She's also an advocate, commissioner for oaths and notary public in the legal profession right here in Uganda and beyond, I believe. She is an author and speaks on legal, professional, mental health issues as well as emotional issues, like I told you, and she'll tell us more about it. She's extremely credited for that. Ms Fortunate, an honor on behalf of my audience, on behalf of the Hope Ignites Healing Podcast, on behalf of H3 Services. It's such an honor to welcome you to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming and joining us, Ms Fortunate.
Hello, listeners. Thank you so much, Dr. Lillian. It's such an honor and privilege to be here to share with your audience, but beyond that, to have a conversation that's close to my heart. Thank you for having me here today.
You're welcome. It's so good to have you. You sound so warm. I like, ladies, I'll tell you, I like the time we've had together. She'll share more, but it's been a journey, and we have supported each other in growing, especially in healing for women, and we'll talk more about it. Fortunate, thank you so much for being here. Now, let's get into our discussion. Our audience can't wait. I'd love to start at this question. If at all you've been following, we've been talking about the Rebirth series here at the Hope Ignites Healing podcast. And we've said that rebirth begins from within. When I talk about rebirth beginning from within, what comes to your mind? If it's okay for you to share, maybe what is in your story that leads to emotional wellness. What does it bring to your mind?
That's quite an interesting topic. So first of all, I want to say that every moment, every work, ministry, name it, that we've done together, for me has felt like a rebirth. So all conversations we've had on a personal level, in a group of a sisterhood, name it, it's always a rebirth for me. And what does rebirth mean to me? I think for me, it's a return to self, a quiet but powerful awakening where you begin to honor your emotions, not as weaknesses, but as signals of your humanity. My journey into emotional wellness began when I realized that being strong didn't mean being silent. It meant being honest, especially with myself, but beyond that, sharing what I was learning as I navigated my moments with others. And that also influences the work that I do with Healing Hearts Haven, with the significant one that we do together, with Woman Thrive. All these are just moments where I pour into others, but in the process you also pour back, or they pour back into me. And that for me is a rebirth, because then you are put in a place of self-awareness. You begin to understand why you do what you do, why you say what you say, why you're where you're at. And then slowly you begin to navigate from point to point, how to start, not just afresh, but you integrate who you were before, who you're becoming, and become a fresh, new being because of the choices that you're making every single day to heal and be new.
Wow, that's so powerful, Fortunate. Thank you so much for sharing that, bringing out that every moment we've had together is like a rebirth for you, right? That's quite encouraging. And it means not being silent. It means you are not necessarily shouting out like you've said, but you're becoming fresh from within. Fortunate, earlier on I introduced you as F.I.R.M. Does F.I.R.M have anything to do with this journey you've made on emotional wellness? The one you said is quiet, speaking quietly from within and yet loud on the outside?
On so many levels, yes, it is. So one, it's an acronym that stands for my name. So Fortunate Ingabire being who I am originally, the names that were given to me by my parents, R being my paternal family name, and M being the name that I have picked from my new family of choice. However, over time, through one experiences, moments of introspection, navigating different experiences, evolved to become faith-inspired, relatable messages. Why do I say that? Because I know that as we navigate life as it is, and as we grow from a place where we are focusing on emotional well-being, sometimes we'll have moments where you just have to get into a space where it's just you. And in that aloneness, you grow. And as you're growing, you listen to things or you perceive things that move you from the point where you're at. Let's say if you're in a place of brokenness, it moves you from a place of brokenness to redemption. And personally, in my moments, one of the things that I remember doing was burying myself literally in the Bible and opening randomly to find any message that could carry me through my season at the time. And the moments I could not hold myself together, those words I read then are the ones that carried me through. And even now, I find myself sharing, but I cannot share without using some of the messages that I learned then. Like, for example, even when we say that, you see, it doesn't matter what emotional clutter you have right now. I can say that it is for a season, because I know that tomorrow joy is going to come. They say joy comes in the morning. And again, that wasn't just from a random place. It was just because I was able to pick it and latch onto it during my moments where my emotions were cluttered all over, and all I needed was something to ground me and remind me that things were going to be okay, that it was just for a season, the season would pass, and hence F.I.R.M. And I also like to say that our past experiences do not define us, but they enable us redefine ourselves for a more fulfilling present. And now that redefining is the rebirth.
Yes. Wow. Refining us for a more. Say that again, Fortunate.
Redefining ourselves for a more fulfilling present.
That is beautiful. My audience, I hope you got that. I hope you see how important the redefinition is, that you have to go back, not to be scared of the person or the story that has come in your life. That story is the beginning of defining tomorrow. And that's what Fortunate is telling us. I've always fallen in love with F.I.R.M. and how you relate it to who you are. Very important, where you come from, what new life you've adopted in your family, in your present family marriage, and moving forward. And then you relate it to your foundation, which is spiritual grounding in Christianity. And most of the time as I teach, emotional awareness is important, and there has to be that place where you sit and relate it to everything around you. So as someone in a high pressure field, Fortunate, given all that you're telling me, even with a story behind it, it does not separate you from the fact that you're in legal practice, you're in a corporate organization, you're doing things that normal women like you and I do in a fast-paced world. What has your journey taught you about acknowledging emotions rather than suppressing them?
Wow, that's an interesting question. You see, the legal profession as it is, and as it has always been known, it rewards stoicism. We are trained to be logical, detached, and composed. One thing they tell us is that your client's case is not your case. Go there, do what you have to do, and get out. We are supposed to be prim and proper, all suited up, black suits, gray suits, dark blue, navy blue, gray. That is what is expected of us. But on my journey, I have learned that emotional awareness is not the opposite of professionalism. It's in fact the foundation of sustainable leadership. When you acknowledge your emotions, it helps you make clearer decisions, connect better with clients, and also avoid emotional fatigue. But beyond that, I think I read a book a while back by Brené Brown, where she says that vulnerability is not weakness. So as a lawyer, as a legal professional, it's okay for me to say, I think I'm burnt out. I think I need to take a break. And it's okay for you to seek some level of balance, because without that, your client's matter could suck you up.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it becomes your own problem. Using an example of myself as a corporate legal advisor here, the timelines, the board expectations, it can be too much. I remember when I just joined the company. That was about 2016.
Yes,
I joined in
yes.
2015, and then I got pregnant in 2016. Now, during one of those days, I had to work through the night. I think I left work at about 9 or 10 p.m. And I've also noticed a trend. There are seasons, so that never goes away. So then the question is, how do I strike a balance? I think the advantage I had then was that we had a very understanding leader who would, for example, tell you know what, Fortunate, it's okay, you can work from home. Even before we started working remotely, he would say, it's okay, I know you're overwhelmed, it was a busy evening, please work from home. But that came from a place of, first of all, me being confident enough. It didn't matter that I just started working there, but being confident enough to tell the boss that, you know what, yesterday was really long. Can I come in? Probably, can I take a few hours extra before I get in? What can I do? And then he would say, it's okay, you can work remotely. Now, that comes from a place of being emotionally aware that, you know, the fatigue can be carried over, and beyond being carried over, your energy will spiral down to the next person that you relate with. And that will be because of the pressure from work. So once you have that clarity, and once you're able to be comfortable in one, seeking help, saying what you need, then you're not being a bad lawyer, a bad professional. You're just acknowledging what you need in the moment, and that only advantages you. It is to your advantage. So it's very important for us to be emotional aware, lawyer or not a lawyer. It's important. The being logical, it's equally important, but only to the extent that it does not take away from who you are as a person or make you bitter because you're exhausted.
Yes. How beautiful, Fortunate. I hear you very well, because even as a clinician, I'll tell you, the times you get the high end, you know, the patients, the professional people like you and I, usually there is a part where there is a detachment from how you're feeling and what is going on in the real world. I'm in a hurry, I can't slow down, I have this report, I have to get this done. It's actually difficult to get to a point where you're saying, hey, are you listening to your body? So what I'm hearing you talking about is how emotional awareness isn't opposite to professionalism. That's really loud. And that enables you, when you get to that point, you have clearly said it enables you to acknowledge you're overwhelmed, acknowledge you're fatigued, and be able to listen and respect your body and say, I need a slowdown. And in the last episode, I made it so clear that our bodies are speaking to us. A headache, a nausea, an infection or something, you shouting and lashing at somebody in the courtroom or on the road is just a symptom of what is happening from within. And as you agree with me, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So as we go on into our discussion, I'm really, really loving this. I hope you are as well. I heard you talking about the point where you step within and you talk and you nurture yourself. And what comes to my mind is the creation of safe spaces that enable you to feel. One of my practical steps, and the ones that you and I teach ladies, is about creating safe spaces. The concept of creating that secret place, the place where you quieten down, listen to yourself, journal, or whatever it is that you do, especially when you went through the demands of your story, your profession, to mention but a few.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lillian. Maybe if I even go there, I wanted to say that when
Yes,
you
please.
are emotionally aware, it's also easier for you to be compassionate as you deal with your clients, but also as you advise them and seek effective solutions for them. So the more aware you are, the more you'll also be able to give the best results to whoever it is that you're serving.
Absolutely.
Now, talking about the safe spaces and the practices, I think based on what we have been learning together, I've created what I call the quiet corner. And that's a space in my day where I journal, pray, or simply breathe. I also encourage colleagues to normalize mental check-ins. In high-pressure environments, even 10 minutes of silence can be very, very powerful. And also, I've created a community of, I think I'm a community creator.
Yes, you are.
I've created several groups of mainly women, others, I don't know which people are there, but where I just share snippets of my learnings on healing, on life, on praying for our children.
Yeah.
Because I believe we all thrive in community. I believe it's Maya Angelou who says that we cannot do life alone. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you are, big, small, doctor, no doctor, lawyer, no lawyer. We all need somebody we can count on. We need a sisterhood, a brotherhood, name it. So in those spaces, I share as I learn, I share with them. And I think as I've told you before, journaling is it for me because I feel like I express myself better in writing than in speech. Mm-hmm. So I like to write.
Yeah.
And during my season, I did more writing than I have ever done. I don't know. And I've gone back eventually to look at my previous conduct. Like from high school, I still have notebooks where I would write, scribble very dreams, prayers, Bible verses. So it's a thing I think that has been in me for a long time. So I journal quite a lot. And then also during that time I became a mini vlogger. So I would record.
There you go.
Yeah, I would record myself sharing whatever it is that I was learning in that moment. And meanwhile, I was doing it from a place of so much pain. But I would just sit down, read my Bible. After reading my Bible, I would ask myself, what have I learned from this verse today? Then I would probably listen to a YouTube video. Then I think I listened to a lot of Joel Osteen. That was in 2020. I listened to a lot of Joel Osteen's message. I know his kind of preaching is encouraging. So whatever I would pick from him, and then what I've read in the Bible myself, I would now create a script for myself. And then that script would be what I would record myself telling people. Yeah. I would first write it and then record myself saying it. But that was me dealing. That was my way of deal to heal.
Yes.
And, you know, the Bible says that once you're encouraged, go forth and encourage others. So I didn't even know what I was doing, but all I felt was I had to do it. It could have been a coping mechanism for me at that moment, but it did work wonders for me. Recently, I have started taking walks. Now, during those walks as well, you have moments to introspect, reflect, and then generally refresh. And of course, once you go back to the starting point, you have a few ideas here and there that can help you in your redefining process, hence, or your rebirth process. So those are some of the things that I out a lot and do as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, in summary, that's it. I don't think I have very many practices. I have tried meditation, but on a low scale. And for me, my meditation is pretty much on the word, honestly. I tried listening to some calming sounds before I go to bed. During that time, I would go to YouTube, find sleep meditation, and I just play it as I sleep.
Yeah.
Then exercise a bit, but not quite, because I have this perception that exercising is for those who want to lose weight. I don't have weight to lose. I actually want to gain weight. So that is really low scale. So the most I do is Zumba, which is dance class, and then a few walks here and there. I've been wanting to do strength training. I was supposed to buy, what are they called, weights, but the ones I had were way heavier. But then also maybe just to say that, you see, even for someone out there who is listening and they want to start a practice to guide them into their rebirth or their healing journey or their redefinition journey, to say that you will try several things. Some will work for you, others will not, but you must start trying something. And just because I'm doing something or Dr. Lillian is doing something does not mean it should be what you should do. I think it is you finding what works for you. So I journal, I pray, I breathe, I encourage others to do that. I do some exercising here and there, apart from the heavy ones that I believe are for losing weight. Now, those clear my mind, but it does not mean it's what is going to work for you. You have to find your rhythm, and your rhythm is what you'll also be able to share others as they create their safe spaces, as they heal, and as they find their way to being free, surrendered, fully healed, holistically, from mental to physical to spiritual, name it.
Yeah. Wow, that is such a loaded response, Fortunate. 3 things that I get. 1, you create the quiet corner yourself. So that is your personal little space. You take walks on your own. Yes, you say you don't exercise that much, but your walks, I think, from what I've heard you saying, are for that mental space. Yes, to keep well for your body, but to have that mental energy, that mental space, because I always teach ladies, or I always say, exercise is you setting your emotions into motion, especially because of the science that is behind it. And then you talked about you creating safe communities for women to heal. I've seen you do that over and over again, and I think that is you coming alive. Just creating spaces, no monetary benefits behind, just creating that space, probably giving back to something that you didn't have at your time when you desperately needed a community for you to heal when you were dealing with what you were going through. And that takes me to the next question. In this busy life again, the activities that take you to a state of flow, that deep engagement where time stands still. I almost know the answer, but what are some of the things that you can share with our audience? Those things that you do and you can do forever and go and go and go until I tell you, Fortunate, wake up, it's time to go. Do you know any of those? The things that help you tie meaning, purpose, and sense to what you're doing?
Okay, so I think because you know them, you should tell me. But before you do, I think, or I believe,
Yes, needs to know them, Fortunate. They need to hear it from you.
I believe that I find flow when I'm, one, mentoring young people, writing, and speaking to women about healing.
Yeah.
This is where my legal mind and my emotional heart meet. That is when I feel most aligned with my purpose, because I know that as women, we go through things, some that eat at the core of who we are. And that is why I wrote my 2 books. One,
Yes.
Finding Healing After Losing a Loved One, Relief Through Grief. But I also know that we grieve more than physical loss of loved ones. We grieve loss of jobs, failure, rejection, name all those traumas, childhood traumas. We grieve the childhood we desired that we didn't have. Imagine if you didn't grow up with your mother and father and you'd have wanted to know what it feels like to be in a nuclear family setting. We grieve the opportunities that we missed, that passed us by. You know, it's more than just losing a loved one. And for me, when I was writing that book, it's because I knew that even in that moment when something happens to you, right immediately, the support is immense. Everybody is there. They will come to your home. Some will escort you to send off your loved one. When you lose your job, people will call you and sympathize with you. Some people will send you some 10K, 20K for some time. When you fail, people will tell you sorry, and then they'll say keep trying. They'll keep trying to see how you're doing. When you're rejected, there'll be a friend who will tell you, you know what, you're enough, don't feel that way. But they do that for only a short while. After a certain time, you have to deal with your grief as you Fortunate, as you Dr. Lillian, as you who is listening into us right now. You have to deal with that pain because it's your pain. And during that time, the rest of the world is moving. The world does not stop. It doesn't, not even for a microsecond.
Wow.
It only stops for you. So when I was writing that book, and after going through my season of grief, I wanted to be a tiny little bit a part of someone's relief through grief. I might not be physically present for every single person that experiences pain, but virtually through the book, through just listening to what I talk about, I can be a little part of their relief through grief. And moving from grief to grace, from brokenness to redemption, especially with the journey I'm on now, the rebirth.
Yes.
The rebirth, I then know that there are still things that are intertwined. As you're dealing with your emotions, you're dealing with your body, you're dealing with your outer space, you see a little person and your family of choice all before you. So you have to balance your emotions with making sure that these people are okay.
Yeah.
And it's then that I also wrote the book Mama Refined, which is a 31-day prayer devotional for mothers. And in there, we don't just pray for mothers and for children, no. We also pray for our significant others, the people that we are doing life with, the people who we are co-parenting with, the people who caretake for our children. Because during that season and my transitions have taught me that there are certain things that are beyond my control. And because they're beyond my control, I have to live and parent from a surrendered place, as a surrendered mother.
Yeah.
With the finances, I can install cameras, I can do all sorts of things, but I will never be in that space to do everything that I can to protect my little girl now. Yeah. And with that, then the question is, what keeps me grounded? And the only thing that will keep you grounded is one, your belief in God and your consistent tarrying for that child. You see, yesterday, I happened to scroll through TikTok and I came across a video where a lady said that she had just given birth. She was, I think, 25. She had just given birth, recently married. Her baby was 4 months old. She left the baby at home with a nanny and went to work. And while she was at work, she received a call, and the neighbors were telling her that the baby was in the house alone, that we think your nanny has run away. And this lady quickly called. This lady quickly called the husband, because the husband is self-employed, so that he could quickly dash and see the child. But unfortunately, the husband was also very far, so she now had to decide to go and see the child. And she went to her HR, and the HR told her, put that in writing.
Wow.
And she said that broke her. Now, I don't know the part 2 of the story because I didn't see it, although I noticed this person now has a school, a preschool, so probably she must have left and started a child care center because she couldn't deal with such mishaps again. But you see, going back to what I was saying, that you can do everything that you can, but you have no control over someone else's decisions. You have no control over even your little bubbly being, because eventually, while they are part of you and become independent, they also begin to have their own reasoning, thinking, because of the environment that they are in. The influences are real. So then the only grounding that they'll have is one, in your prayers, because they say that the prayers of a fervent mother cannot be explained. So then I realized that, you see, the only way we can do that is one, live as a mother refined by prayer, but also in surrender. And then, most importantly now, because of my experiences and also knowing what women go through, speaking to women about healing. And that is what we do in TSO, that's what we do in Woman Thrive, because we believe that for us to be able to navigate the journey of life, we have to intentionally choose every single day to heal from the things that have taken away from us. And with that, again, I find flow. You forgive me for going on and going on, because that is where I find flow. I could go on.
Clearly, you're in the flow state.
Yeah, I could go on and on, but yeah. So that's where I find flow. Mentoring young people, because I mean, every single young person listening to this podcast tomorrow, at their age, and are able to understand what they're listening to, decipher it, and then keep it at heart. Probably their 30s, their 40s, 50s would be different. But do we get a chance to do that? Sometimes not. So every opportunity I get, I try to pour into young people, and that is why every year we do the annual mentorship bootcamp in Kisoro. Hopefully one day we'll be able to scale it to other areas, but for now we start there, and of course in Kampala where we are at.
Wow, how beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen who could be listening to me, please find finding healing after losing a loved one. And Mama redefined for that loved one in your life, your wife, your daughter, your aunt, your mom. Find these books and understand what it means for a woman to connect to that inner person. And Fortunate has talked about being desiring to be a little part of your journey to healing. Thank you so much. As we get to our close of this lovely podcast, where Fortunate has shown us where she gets her flow, serving women, talking to women, mentoring young people. Recently, Fortunate had a great award from Girls for Girls, again about the mentorship work she has done in Kisoro. We applaud you, Fortunate, and that's why my community is extremely privileged to have you on here. Ladies, wherever your story starts, there is somebody waiting for you to go through your journey of emotional wellness from within so that their own story gets redefined. And I believe Fortunate is one of those people that embodies this. As we come to our close, this is us encouraging each other to reconnect to our why, that our why matters. What, Fortunate, as we close, motivates you? Why are you so passionate about emotional wellness? Okay, you've already talked about it, but to someone who is listening, who is probably wondering where to start from, what are those little motivations that you can share with them? And as we finish, I know those motivations are in the work you do. Where do people find you? Where do people get more of what you're offering, Fortunate? Then I'll let you go.
Thank you, Dr. Lily. Well, I want to say that all this work wouldn't be possible without you and your support. So thank you to you and everybody that has supported the work that I do over the last 3 years. I'm eternally grateful. Now, my why is simple. One,
Yes.
I want to be the voice I needed when I was struggling.
Yes.
Emotional wellness is not a luxury. It's a necessity.
Yes.
Especially in professions like ours. Especially in this generation where women are working as hard, yeah? Where you don't have to just be asked, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Emotional wellness is important. I speak about it because silence is too costly. They say that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. I don't want to be a statistic where they say her mouth was closed and that is why she was not able to do whatever she was supposed to do. Also, we know Psalms 139 says that we are all here for a purpose. And how else can we live out that purpose other than in finding our why? If you're an encourager, go out there and encourage.
Yes.
If you are a prophet, go out and prophesy, you know? And also, I know that no experience is in vain. And I think that's why we like to say that there's purpose in the pain, or we can turn our pain into purpose. Yeah. And now I like to say that there is gain in the pain. And because I have gone through the pain, the gain doesn't have to be for me. It could be for somebody out there who has gone through an experience I've already experienced, or who is going through it, or who knows somebody going through it. It is for them to pass it down. So these small circles we have on Saturdays for Healing Hearts, it's not for me. Yes. Of course, I ultimately benefit from them, but it is for somebody out there whose heart is heavy. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
And it doesn't matter which profession they are. But I want to be their voice. I want to be the one that encourages them and tells them it's okay to talk about it. And it is okay for you to choose to heal every single day. Yeah.
Wow. I wish this would not stop. I wish we could keep going and going and going. Ladies, She wants to be the voice that she needed when she was struggling. Emotional wellness is important to Fortunate. Silence is too costly. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. Excuse me, you need to speak, you need to talk, and it starts from you dealing from the inside. We deal so that we heal. And all that is going back into the science behind emotional wellness, the science behind mental health, back to the definition of health, that health is not just your body, health is your mind, your inner self, and everything around you. No wonder we have a thriving lawyer right now, a thriving mom, a thriving wife. Thank you so much, Fortunate, for your time. It's been such an honor to do work with you. We continue to minister to women, to people, to our workplaces, to the people around us. Ladies, find Fortunate. She has a YouTube channel. Go and listen to her story. She has not expounded on it here, but you will find it. Find the book, Redefining, Mama Redefined, and then Finding Healing After Losing a Loved One. Find Fortunate in the Girls for Girls circles. You will hear her. Fortunate, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your heart. Before we close, ladies, if you could leave or walk away with something here, it's to go back on the inside, understand your rebirth, and connect from your inner self, from your emotions. And again, what a powerful conversation this has been. My listeners, rebirth begins from the moment that you pause, that you listen, and that you respond with compassion to yourself. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to share it with someone, to support Fortunate, to interact with us, and be a part of our journey to support each other. Redefine our Fortunate. I'll let you say that again. Redefine our. Yeah.
It's been an honor being here. Thank you for having me. Maybe one last thing before I complete the redefine is to say that our emotions are not interruptions. They are invitations for us to pause, to heal, to begin again.
Wow.
Rebirth is not a one-time event. It's a daily choice to honor your inner truth. Every single day, and as I said, every single thing that we do together is a rebirth for me. Every day gives us a chance to evolve. And that evolving is the rebirth. So it's not a one-time event. It's a daily choice to honor our inner truth. And one verse that anchors me in this journey is Romans 12:2, that says that do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So emotional wellness is part of that renewal. It's how we reclaim our peace, our clarity, and our purpose from the inside out, which you like to say here.
Yes.
And our purpose from the inside out. So again, like Dr. Lillian was saying, it is for us to redefine our past for a more fulfilling present. So our past does not define us. So let's redefine ourselves for a more fulfilling present. And that fulfilling present is you choosing to possess and to walk in your rebirth.
Thank you. Thank you. Redefine our past for a more fulfilling present. Until next time, keep nurturing your calm. Keep encouraging yourself. Keep writing your rebirth from within. Your host, Dr. Lillian Kalisa. I'm here to give you hope through health, and above all, to add the glow to medicine. I'll see you on the next Topic Night Healing podcast. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye.